That's just ridiculous. Ridiculous what I just watched out of the 76ers. The worst part about it, I spent my hard-earned money. I spent the money that I work hard for to go watch the Sixers work hard. And they did the complete opposite. They fought back. Sure, they did. They fought back in the fourth quarter to make it close and a couple bad calls that we will discuss. I get it all. But for 44 minutes of a basketball game, you get destroyed and dominated on your home court like that? Am I supposed to be pumped about the 4-minute fight? Or am I supposed to be upset with the 44 minutes of disgrace? And that's just reality. That's how it really was. The Sixers were just outworked. The other team competed hard. We weren't ready to play. We got embarrassed in our own building. That was supposed to be a really nice attempt, a really nice game out of the Sixers to be at home, to create some noise, coming off that West Coast swing, beating the Warriors. Just dominated, for the most part, 15 to 20 point game. You allowed 15 offensive rebounds consistently. Consistently, I watched the Toronto Raptors go up and grab sometimes 2 or 3 offensive boards in the same sequence. How? How is that a thing? Now, obviously, J.J. Redick not being in the lineup crushed us. The 8-man rotation, Furkan Korkmaz just abysmal defensively, and T.J. McConnell, 4 turnovers. At one point in the third quarter, we cut the lead to 10. TJ with literally, 2 or 3 consecutive turnovers. And on top of that, we're trying this lob pass into the post all night long. All night long, in the double teams, in the triple teams, just trying to lob it into the post. If it's not there, why are we forcing the issue? Why are we trying to do that? 18 turnovers, 6 from Ben, 4 from Joel, 4 from TJ. The team was just horrible. Horrible. I'm sorry, but I focus on the 44 minutes of disgrace. That's what I look at. Because we had an opportunity to make some noise. Now here comes everyone starting to scream at Elton Brand, you need to do this, that. We've known that for how long now? How long have we known that we need a bench? And we have until Thursday at this point, so we just have to wait and see what happens. I already had my video on it on what I thought we need to do, and that's wait for the buyouts. But with Mike Muscala in as our starting 4, Landry Shamet, who I do like the kid, but he's not scoring at JJ's level. We hit, how many threes? 7 total? 29% from 3? Now let's talk about the referee. They're not the reason why we lost this game. There was a crucial call down the stretch that was insanely. Like, I've never seen a worse call in my life, I feel. Like, it was that bad. But that wasn't the reason why we lost. So that Landry Shamet 3, that would have cut it, I believe, to 5 at that point with 3 minutes left. I don't understand how in the world you can say that he kicked out his legs. That was a legit straight jump shot. I've never seen that. Ever seen that. That was so bad. That was so brutal. And so was a couple of these calls early on. So we had Embiid on Van Vliet. Van Vliet in the first quarter was dribbling into the post, into the lane, into the paint. He just fell over. Literally fell over. Embiid wasn't even close to touching him. They called a foul on Embiid. TJ on Serge Ibaka trying to get around the screen. Ibaka was clearly moving. Clearly a moving screen. They call it on TJ. Jimmy Butler had a pure steal. Nothing but ball. Ready to go down and slam it on a fast break. They called a reach-in. No, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying there wasn't bad calls on the other side, too, because after some of these calls, there were makeup ones. There were makeup calls that were definitely ghost phantom calls. But I've never seen a crew... Well, I mean, I guess I take that back. I was going to say I've never seen a crew that bad, but when you watch the sport of basketball, yes, you do see a crew that bad. But it was on display tonight of just horrendous refereeing. I've never seen a 3-point call like that where his leg kicked out when it was a serious, normal-looking jump shot from 3. Crazy. I mean, Brett Brown was fired up on the bench. A lot of emotion coming out of him at that time. Jimmy Butler had emotion throughout this game. He finished with a quiet 18. He had a moment with Furkan there on the bench kind of getting after him. It was just a bad loss. When you're down 15-20 all night long, Kawhi Leonard's knocking down every single free throw that he even goes to the line with. He missed one, I think. I think he was 16 of 17, finished with 24. Kyle Lowry knocking down threes at will with 20. Ibaka 20 and 10. When you look at Ben, he had 20. He finished with 27 and 6. Embiid 37 and 13. Like I said, that fourth quarter push kind of generated a little bit more stats when you look at the stat sheet for this team, but I don't know what to tell you. When you get outworked like that, outcompeted on the boards, sometimes it happens. I get it. But there are sequences where I specifically remember 2 or 3 O boards in literally 3 seconds of each other, and then a putback for the Raptors. I was trying to sit there as I was at the game. Well, actually, when I was walking to my car after the game, I was sitting there walking and saying, what was the best offensive play that we had? What was the best offensive play? I mean, I'm looking here and just a joke. And I'm not taking the positive. I'm not going to sit here and say, we fought. It could have been a 5-point game. Because what I witnessed, the turnovers, the sloppy play, just not going out there and working as hard as you possibly can, how do you expect to beat a Toronto Raptors team? So I asked this question. We were riding the high after the Warriors win. We were riding the high on some of those West Coast wins out there. Did this just knock us back to reality? Are we at a point now and saying, wow, we really are far off? Without JJ, without Wilson Chandler, look what we had to put on the floor. It can't go unnoticed. I love Landry Shamet. I think the kid is going to be legit. But there's a difference out there with JJ and Landry. And I know JJ's a liability defensively, but he counters some of it with offense. We don't get that level with Landry as the starter. Mike Muscala, I feel bad because he's being asked to do something that he knows he's not capable of doing. He's not a starter in this league giving you 30-something minutes. He was getting abused. Him, Korkmaz, TJ. TJ, it gets worse and worse for me for every game. It really does. I just don't know if it's seriously something that's going to work. I can't stand with him and Ben on the floor at the same time. I can't stand it. You look at the substitution patterns. I mean, like I said, an 8-man rotation. How do you expect to get that done against the Raptors team that gets praised for its depth? They didn't even have Valanciunas tonight. And last time they battled it out, I don't know if it was last time or the time before that, but he was giving Embiid a monster problem. So when Serge Ibaka wasn't on the floor, they actually had someone else to irritate Embiid. Not tonight, and it was still this easy. It was still this easy. It's just disappointing. It really is. To have an opportunity to come back home and be able to put up a fight. That's my issue here. It's not that we lost. It really isn't that we lost. My takeaway is we were unprepared. We didn't work hard for 44 minutes of this basketball game. And that's just unacceptable is really what it is, especially with a game like that, a game of that nature. You know that the stakes are high here. You know people are going to be watching. It was insanely electric in the beginning of this game. The line was out the door. Took forever to get in. Allen Iverson rings the bell. TNT. I mean, it was a huge game. The environment in the Wells Fargo Center was awesome. And there was a point in that second quarter where it dropped. It died. It went so quiet. And right then and there, I knew it. I knew it. Sensed it. It's a damn shame. So here we are. Here we are. 2 days, I guess, technically. By the time this is up, it's close to really Wednesday at midnight at this point. So we have a day or two here until moves have to be made for the trade deadline. So we're going to have to see what Elton pulls out of his hat. And until then, this is what it is. And once one person's out, we're in a huge problem. And once 2 people are out, we're in an even insanely different type of problem because our depth is that bad. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. I never thought it too either. I never thought it. When I was walking into the arena, I thought it was going to be a great game. Win or lose, it's just going to be a good game. The team is going to be ready to play. They've been playing their best ball. And that was embarrassing. They got blown out at home, essentially. In my opinion, they got blown out at home because it wasn't even a fight. It wasn't even a fight. They got outworked all night long, except for 4 minutes. That's how I see it. Let me know your thoughts down below. I'll see you next time.